Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to talk to you about the time that I scammed the internet with a hacksaw. And, I guess, this probably isn't even really worth my time, but I've rethought this a couple of times, and here's what I have for you. So, yesterday, as of this video, I uploaded a video of me making a batch of Kepart style blades. During the video, there was one knife in particular that was sort of the subject of the video. You saw it all the way through, and then I even did some testing on it at the end. During the video, there was the rest of the batch that was sort of in the background of the video, and you saw those several times. Most of you seem to like the video, but there was one grumpy person who apparently was a subscriber and then now is not a subscriber because they felt that I scammed them in the video. Here's what happened. Saw a comment, subscriber says basically that I pretended to hacksaw off my piece of blade steel when in fact I actually used some kind of torch, because anybody who's worked metal before can see that that was done with a torch. And so I made it appear as if I was using a hacksaw to cut that steel when in fact I used a torch. And therefore I scammed them, and they don't like being scammed. Well, sir, maybe you're having a bad day, we all do. Initially I responded stating the fact that no, I had not used a torch. In fact, I don't even own a plasma torch. And I simply edited it so that you didn't have to watch me hacksawing through the entire piece of steel, because most people complain about that or don't like that. And then I thought better of that and I deleted the comment, his comment. But in the meantime, one of my faithful subscribers and commenters actually sort of came to my defense on his comment in some form. And so it was obvious that, some people had seen this grumpy ex-subscriber's comment. And I guess it kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit that somebody would assume that I would go through the pains of making it appear as if I was doing something in the video that I wasn't doing. Because I don't do that, number one. Number two, this is my livelihood. This is my job. And I am trying to build a business on quality and integrity, and I'm not perfect, just like nobody else is, but to the best of my ability, everything I do here is the best that I can do, and that, includes quality, integrity, etc. And so, as I said, the fact is that I did use a hacksaw to cut through the entire piece. I can't even believe that I'm actually... Anyway. I used a hacksaw to cut through the entire piece of steel and edited it so you didn't have to sit there and watch me do it. But now, for your viewing pleasure, here is the entire clip in its unedited form. Now, I will point out, which was not part of the video, that the other knives in this batch, I did actually use my portaband to cut those pieces off of the bar, because it's much quicker and easier. And when you're building product to sell, you find ways to do the same task in a more efficient manner, just like everybody else in the world. So why did I use a hacksaw for the subject of the video? Was I trying to make it appear as if I use a hacksaw for every piece of steel that I work with? Absolutely not. So why would I do that? That's a great question. Many of you guys out there watching these videos are just getting started in this trade or are wanting to And that's, you know, and some of you have been doing it a while but don't have the amount of equipment that even, I don't have a ton of equipment compared to some guys, but I have a lot more than a lot of you, and I recognize that. And so, you know, that's who these videos are for, is you guys out there working in your shops. And so what I'm trying to do is present content that encourages and helps you in your projects, and you guys are the main audience for this channel. And so my goal is not to show off every piece of equipment that I have in the video, because I could use my full-size bandsaw to cut a piece of blade steel, but how does that benefit you? The point is that I'm trying to make is that in these videos, it's like, hey, you don't need a chop saw, you don't need a bandsaw, you don't need a torch. You can use a hacksaw and get this done real quick and easy, and be that much closer to making a finished knife. So does that make sense? It's not helping my target audience to show off pieces of equipment that they may or may not have. Obviously, the guy that's got a bandsaw, you know, he can use that. But the guy that doesn't have a bandsaw, you know, helping them understand that you don't need to have all this equipment to start making knives. This sort of, that's a long explanation. I hope hopefully that makes sense, but that's the reason that I use the hacksaw in the subject of the video. You know, and I'm gonna use whatever tools that I have at my disposal during the production. That's not really the right word. Making the product that I make, and it's got nothing to do with, you know, being too lazy to use a hacksaw to cut off a piece of steel. So hopefully you enjoyed this sort of rant, I guess, and have a great week. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next video.